Welcome, everyone, to another short episode of Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
And we went and saw Ready Player One.
Yes. We went to a one of the preview screenings on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we both read the book.
Yeah, we both made sure we read the book beforehand. We're not going to be charlatans.
I brought this up on Facebook talking with somebody that the movie is a better experience than the book.
Yeah, it was actually my prediction. So
it was not mine.
Yeah. Going into it, I remember kind of saying, because, if anyone who's familiar with the story, it's essentially a Willy Wonka-esque tale. A gentleman who creates an MMO game dies and wants to leave his fame and fortune and ownership of said game to somebody.
Right, and so we follow a cast of characters, one in particular, trying to become, find the 3 keys, find the egg, Easter egg.
Yeah, a literal egg in this case.
Yes. Yeah, which was actually funny because the movie is littered then with Easter eggs for other people to find.
Right.
But
now, should we do a spoiler-free version of our review, or should we spoil it?
Spoiler-free version.
Okay.
Spoiler-free version, because here's my thing.
Yes.
I recommend that people should go see this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and if you're into any of the 80s, 90s, or even current references, because we did get some references from more modern times.
Yeah, plenty. And it was sort of strange, actually, because I started then wondering, was there some sort of epic apocalypse that happened between now at times and then, because there seemed to be nothing new created.
Well, I think that's because if you look at the time that the Oasis is created, it's around 2020.
Yeah.
Which is around now, so because the Oasis gets created, it's a world where anybody can be anything. There was no need to really create much more.
Yeah, so just to kind of maybe compare a couple of things different from the book to the movie, the book tended to kind of gear towards epic nerdage, okay? Epic nerdage. A lot of the game references, a lot of the things.
The challenges.
The challenges that you will see when you see the film. I don't want to ruin too many of them because they were pretty awesome, and they were different from the books.
Yeah.
Almost completely. So the challenges were a lot less super nerdy. You don't have to have all the crazy nerd cred.
No. It was actually
you could go into it as a nerd layman. And probably rather still enjoy yourself.
Yeah, because in all honesty, who remembers the game Black Tiger?
Yeah,
that's in the book.
That's in the book. Yeah, not in the movie.
Right. A lot of things got cut from the book. Basically, the movie is not a retelling of the book per se. It's taking the idea of the book and turning it into a movie.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience.
But the idea of the book was a rather interesting kind of platform to do that on, because there's a lot that you can kind of fill in with things that they might not have access to, as far as licensing and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure this movie was a licensing nightmare. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure having Steven Spielberg on board allows for a lot of kind of, cross-universe stuff to happen. I'm sure he's got some pull with lots and lots of people. Right.
And another thing I had a problem with in the book is the main character, he's never bad at anything.
He's never bad, and he's really, really self-deprecating. Where in the film we get much more of a heroic and
it's very much just a hero's tale kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a hero's journey. You know that kind of stuff. A lot more love story stuff in the film.
Also, it's a visual spectacle. It looked good.
It did. I thought, especially because you watch it and you expect that all of this stuff. You see Ninja Turtles and you see
Battletoads.
Yeah, Battletoads.
Ready Player One does in fact have Battletoads.
You see all kinds of crazy characters that you might see, and you expect that world to look a little like a video game, and it looks a little like a video game. So none of the special effects really seem to,
no, but it's
fail at their job.
But everything's animated well. The CG never looked terrible, really, any point. And I mean, I'm not gonna call it a crowd-pleasing moment, but there was one moment that pleased me.
With a certain giant fighting robot.
It's on the poster. He's down there. The granddaddy's down there.
Yeah.
But overall, a lot of people were worried it was going to be terrible because the book gets a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Because the book, you read it, and I warned you, the ending doesn't have a lot of payoff in the book.
No.
And in all honesty, the book's just more a reference fest and just kind of a fun read.
Yeah, and there's some issues, I think, with female characters and treating them correctly.
Yeah.
And I feel like the movie actually did a better job treating the female characters correctly than the book did. In a few ways.
In a few ways. Yeah, definitely better than the book does. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, the book just does not...
So, yeah, the book is okay. It's fun. It's a nice
The book's
read.
a fun read, especially if you're an 80s kind of nostalgia
Yeah,
person, because, in all honesty, the book covers way more 80s nostalgia, whereas the movie is everything from the 80s up to now. I mean...
It does primarily focus on the 80s.
It does.
And to a large extent the 90s, because there was just so many references to things that really have not been relevant in at least 15 years.
No, but at the same time, like, if you look at a lot of the characters in the background, I mean, you saw stuff for, like, Overwatch.
Yeah, and Halo.
And but we don't want to ruin.
Don't want to ruin too much of it for you. We'll call this one spoiler light.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't go into this movie expecting like the next big sci-fi epic. But was it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't
and if this movie is remembered at all in the annals of film history, I will probably say that it will be remembered as something that was actually better than its original source material.
I will agree with that. I'll agree with that. I don't think it's anything super special in the way of storytelling.
Yeah.
But it was fun. A lot of good actors. Oh, the guy who played Halliday.
Yeah.
He was great.
Oh, yeah. And in a way that I didn't expect Halliday to kind of come across.
No.
I mean, I expected him to be the uber nerd. They kind of played him as a slightly more socially inept, kind of person, and it worked. I think it worked for the character.
It worked really well. And I also like the fact that this movie kind of brings up something that's in like the modern day gaming, which is the idea of like just money making, taking away from the pleasure, the gaminess of everything, and monetizing it, because that was the overarching villain basically in the movie. And of course nowadays we've got the packs that you can unlock and like DLC and all this stuff, and people trying to monetize it, and that's the villain in the movie.
Yes.
So it kind of actually speaks to modern
What's
gaming.
going on right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it. And
just as a representative of modern gaming culture, I think it did an interesting job talking about what it means to be a gamer. But I think the overall message of the thing was that the games are not important and games are not life. It was the overall message. Where, not to say that, that's totally wrong or anything like that. And I think, yes, of course, there's lovely things out there in the real world. But unfortunately, the intent, the draw, and the audience for this movie, goes into it because they love video games and they love the references. But the overall message is those things don't matter.
They're nice, and they're fun, and they're a great escape.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a message the book does not get across as well. No. Which is...
It's in there.
It's in there, but the book is so bogged down in its own references that, just the movie does it better. The movie does a better job of giving you those references, throwing them all in your face, and it's worth multiple watches just to kind of like pick out the little references.
Yeah, I found myself during a lot of the scenes kind of scanning through, trying to find something that I recognized, and there are plenty of awesome things to see.
Yeah.
So if you love that kind of stuff, if you love Easter eggs in all kinds, it was a fun film, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun time, and I think people should go out and watch it. Should you read the book?
Maybe.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Just go watch the movie.
Yeah, like I said, I think it'll be remembered as a better piece of media.
Which is weird. Normally doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, for Nerdstrodamus, I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
We'll catch you some other time.
We just did a movie review.
Yay!